I gotta say, today was definitely one of those days where you call out moves or you kind of picture the perfect scenario and it happens, but somehow you manage to even lose money on it. So the stock we were trading today, for the most part, was NNDM, and this stock is up 300% on the day. Absolutely crazy. Totally makes sense. And pre-market, I was kind of thinking this is going to be the hot one because it had the low float, it had room to run, and it had a great catalyst. So I was thinking, okay, this is definitely going to be the one, or one of the top three for sure. And then I think at the end of the day, I'm down about 40 bucks or so on this specific stock, which is ridiculous. And you know, it's kind of a continuation of a lot of mistakes I've been making, especially in May. So May, you know, I'm making progress. We're growing the account, but we're just growing it very slowly. It seems like I take my profits a little bit too quickly, or I get shaken out too fast. And then I'm cutting my losses though very nicely as well. So I'm avoiding any big losers, but I'm also kind of avoiding any gainers at the same time. And I think I'm still a little bit overly pessimistic to some of these moves because in April I was having a little bit of, it was basically a break-even month, and I feel like I have a little bit of April PTSD. So in this recap video, I'm going to kind of go through a lot of my thoughts a little bit. Leave some comments below to, you know, whatever you think could help me. Some of you guys already left some good feedback. I'm going to, you know, talk about that a little bit as well when we go to the charts. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely probably a little too pessimistic on some of these breakouts because sometimes we don't have good follow through, so I just get out too soon. So I need to definitely work on that a little bit. I totally understand that. I just got to add to my conviction behind my trades and let them ride out a little bit longer. It's almost as simple as that. It's just sometimes a little bit harder to put into practice. So that's going to be the focus of today's recap video. I mean, at the end of the day, trading and day trading isn't really necessarily that hard. There's a few patterns and a few things that you kind of have to understand, and within a few months you could already be profitable. The hardest part is really the trading psychology element. Sometimes you'll be on a great green streak. Sometimes, you know, you're treading water a little bit, but as long as you, what's that saying? You survive till you thrive. And I feel like I'm kind of in the survival mode right now a little bit, and I'm excited for my, you know, getting on that green streak again. But for now, you know, just gotta keep it on, and I think we'll be back at it really nicely soon. But for now, just more reflection. So let's go to the charts now. Questions and comments, leave them below. I answer them all myself. Don't forget to leave a like, guys, if you enjoy this content. If you're totally new here, we go live every morning at 9:15 to first review the watch list and then trade the market open every single day. So if you want to get a notification for the next upcoming stream, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon too. And I will see you there. Off to the charts now. Just check. NNDM just hit $3. Oh my Lord. Oh man, so you guys are just absolutely going to laugh your butts off when you see this. All right, let's pull it over. So this is NNDM. This is our lead gapper on the day, and even though I called it out like it was, you know, sitting right in front of me and the most obvious thing in the world, I butchered this one like no tomorrow, and I gotta say it's tough when that happens. I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say like I have FOMO or anything right now. This has been kind of an ongoing thing now for a few weeks. I've been kind of, you know, one step forward, one step back. I would say like 1.1 step forward, one step back. I mean, we're still growing the account. It's all going very slow. I've been selling my positions too early. And sometimes it's good, you know, sometimes we don't have a continuation. It's good that I sell my positions early, but then other times, and this is kind of more so the case, I just end up missing the whole move. So let's talk about NNDM first. Man, this one you know, I called out so hard pre-market that let's talk about some of the stats here. Gapping up 95% from about a little under 0.8, like 0.76 to 1.5 roughly. Then, you know, kind of pulling back a little bit, but not too much. Not really trending to the downside, I would say. It's an Israel company with 7.7 million float. That's beautiful. That's, you know, south of 10 million in the price range we're looking for. A little bit low on the price range. And this is definitely what annoyed me. Long-term chart on the daily, you can see we have big resistance here. We weren't really able to break, or, you know, I was thinking, okay, there's a good chance we might touch maybe $2 or 180 today. They had some breakthrough in electronics, 3D printing. nice catalyst. And you know what? The catalyst, I would say, is even better because we've been having so much coronavirus news, vaccine, biotechs, and those tend to do very well. But I feel like the fact that, there's something new out there picking up, a lot of people are like, oh, let me jump on this. And anytime you're seeing a stock gapping up 100% pre-market, it's also very exciting. So let's go here to NNDM really quickly and just kind of, I even somehow managed to lose $20 on the day on NNDM. It's just all a little bit stressful, but that's just how it is sometimes. Had a nice red to green move, pulled back about 10% in 3 candles. I wanted to enter here at the 119 and I missed this. It was 12% red to green move. First big major mistake, or not really mistake, but missed move, missed opportunity. And I gotta say, the reason this one kind of bothers me is a little bit is because I was trying to get in on this one, if I remember correctly here. It was right in the beginning of the day, right here at 120. You can see I canceled this order. And the reason I canceled it is because it was really difficult to go long on this one. So let's say I have, one share here. Let me turn auto send off. Basically, if you want to buy right here, and you guys probably already know this, but let's say I want to buy right here at $1.23 or $1.2324, right? And I say buy. It's going to get rejected because you can't do 4 decimal places. I honestly have no idea why TOS even has this issue. So I was trying to buy the breakout here, and I was trying to type in my order, and then by the time I have everything finished, it's up here. What I could have done is say, join the bid. And then, it pops up here and then I click send. And if I have auto send on, obviously it's much faster. So that would have been one way I could have done it to kind of force it. But the spread was so big. I didn't know where the bid was. It was just a little bit annoying. I couldn't really get in where I would want to. So this, first red to green move, I missed. This move higher, I don't really remember. Oh, yeah. This one I missed as well. Oh, this one bothered me so much. Again, I tried to get on this one. Couldn't do it. I didn't get in on time. Should have probably bought these pullbacks, but I didn't. Eventually, I finally get a nice little pullback here. It does bounce a little bit, but not that strong. I end up closing this position. This was a small win, but really not that big. This is the reversal I was kind of waiting for, but if I held this whole time all the way to 41, we would have been down about 3%. So I would have been risking 3%. To maybe make 20%, or at this price, let's say at least back here to 1.5, that's an 8% move, and then here's 17% move. It was the all-time high. I don't know, would I've held that long? Probably not, but at the same time, I gotta say it's a little bit annoying how this whole thing played out. Getting aggressive as volume comes in would probably reduce some of these issues a little bit. This was a bounce trade. I was looking to do this on the backside. I know this one wasn't going to have more than maybe 5% potential. I didn't really want to trade past 11, although I did just a little bit. So I would have been done trading kind of here anyway. So something to kind of consider. That's kind of why I was looking for the backside of a move. I wasn't trying to, hold this one for a potential late day reversal. Anyway, I end the stream and I'm kind of relaxing a little bit. I've been now looking at my computer pretty long, and I just kind of wanted, to take a walk around the room quickly. Unfortunately, right as I do that, this stock does exactly what I was talking about right before I ended the stream. So again, I'm like, oh man, NNDM, somehow I missed it. I felt like I was calling out. I don't know if I always called out the entry, especially out loud, but either thinking it or calling it out loud. It happened several times, and then I would miss the move, or I would somehow lose money on the move. I was just it was just getting really kind of tiring. I don't want to complain too much, but this is kind of what I'm thinking. These are kind of my emotions I've been feeling lately. So I'm just kind of letting it out, and you guys could make out of it what you want. Anyway, kind of 9% move there. I'm like, okay, whatever. That's not bad. At least it's, whatever that I missed it. I'm not having FOMO, but I would like to get an entry. I like what I'm seeing. So I'm waiting here. I'm waiting for this thing to hold its highs and give me an entry signal. So boom, all of a sudden we have this candle making a new holding, and then this candle, big green volume comes up here. I'm like, this is the second break continuation. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I closed my position for a small loss, which typically you can't really complain about because that's not that bad, because this could have easily, spiked further down and, been a big red candle. So it's tough. You don't want to get in the habit of not cutting your losses. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm not going to cut my loss because the last 10 trades proved me wrong. I should have held longer. And then boom, before you know it, you're down 10, 15, 20, 30% because you held past the sell signal, right? So it's like this weird juggle game you have to do. And typically you wouldn't have to play this juggle game if your just account was over $25,000. Because since we're doing the challenge account, I'm limited to 3 day trades per day based on how I allocate my cash account. So that's really where the giant kind of confusing wheel comes in, because I have these arbitrary or not arbitrary but artificial limits kind of imposed on me, which makes me put into a trade all these other factors that you should not be thinking about, and that's been a big hurdle to kind of get over. So this thing, I get out at the 67 or 63, and then it basically from here runs up 30%. So again, right idea, a little bit wrong on the timing. So if I waited for here, and then this thing starts, crawling higher, boom, I would have, probably got out on this. I probably would have not held into that. But it's just, today could have been such a good green day, but somehow I was on the wrong side of these trades a little bit, and it's a little bit annoying. One of our lead gappers, PIXY, in terms of, late to the party gapper, gapped up 100% pre-market, had a 1 million float. That's a beautiful, beautiful float. Big contract winner for coronavirus. They had some sort of deal with a restaurant chain. Again, this stock does everything that I wanted. Had pre-market, had the nice first pullback or second pullback, you could even say here. Boom, 28% got halted, and I was like, don't really want to get long here because big time resistance on the 14 based on the daily chart. So I'm going to avoid that area. I find a lot of risk right here at 14. I'm not going to get long. So I wait, and I wait. We pull back all the way to here. And I have a really nice entry where long-term support and resistance is 180-day moving average, and I get chopped out of this one. And this is annoying because I originally had my limit order at 11, basically 1144 is actually where I had it. We had a quick pullback to 1150, and then we bounced back up, and I was like, notice that the bounce is weak. I think it's going to keep pulling back, actually. So I'm like, I need to cancel my limit order at 1140 because I think it's probably going to pull past 1140, definitely past 1150 because that's where it bounced off of. And it's probably going to see 1140, 1130. Maybe it's even going to break 11. Lo and behold, it does. It pulls back another 7%, just like that. Before I go to cancel my limit order, I don't know why it took me so long to cancel my limit order. Maybe I was just kind of giving it some time. Maybe I was reading something in the chat room. I don't know. I don't want to blame it on something else, but it's just like I have the right intention, but then my execution for the last few weeks has just been getting a little bit annoying because I know I can trade these, and I'm still, treading, whatever, or you're holding above water. And, I'm staying afloat. I'm growing my account, but just very slow because I've been messing up a lot of these entries. I'm more the exits than the entries. But again, I had the feeling. I knew it was probably going to pull back later. I didn't cancel the order quick enough. And then boom, it goes here to 11.7. I'm all of a sudden down over 50 cents a share. And I'm like, that's kind of my max stop. I have to get out of this because what if it keeps pulling back? What if it gets halted? Then I'm down 10%. Then before you know, I'm down 15%, yada, yada. I mean, you don't know, but you got to manage a risk. And that's, how I constantly grow my account, and I don't have these big red days. Although sometimes you still have, big red days if you get like in April where we got direct public offering news came out and we're in that trade. So those were like kind of those freak accidents. But in general, you can avoid most of that by cutting your losses quickly. Which typically works well, but in some of these occasions it doesn't. So basically, I cut right here on this candle, pretty much near the low. This pulled back all the way to in the 40s, so not at the perfect low since I cut at 10.9, but still, you get the gist. Eventually, this thing starts trending higher, and I'm kind of watching it here. I'm like, this could be a good entry. This could be a good entry. Either way, I didn't get an entry, and this thing runs up 43% from basically where I got at. I'm like, no. called that move. Everything was perfect, and then somehow I still lost money on it today. So today I lost $62, which again, it's not that much. It's not the end of the world. It's just I left a lot of money on the table today on pretty straightforward moves. Like, it wasn't the worst trading day. It was a little bit choppy today. You also, you had to give the market like a few extra chances, kind of with the plays. You just had to get aggressive at the right time. But yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit annoying. I'm going to have to really do, I think, some spiritual reflection on what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, and maybe watch a bit more of my recap videos. Look at NNDM right now from March, because March I was on fire. I was absolutely killing it. It was my best month. And then April was just a little bit slow. We had 2 losses right at the beginning. I dug myself out of the hole, but then I got sick for like a week and a half. I had tonsillitis, so I wasn't trading. And then at the end of the week, I felt like I had to catch up, and then I was just kind of tripping over myself. And that was basically April, a break-even month, which could have been much worse now that I think about it. Actually, April could have been traumatizing just because, if I didn't manage my risk well, that could have been a bad month. But, now in May, this month, it's kind of like, we're obviously in the green on the month, but it's just very slow. It's like I said, it's this 1.1 or 1.2 steps forward and then 1 step back, and it's like I haven't been on like a nice green streak, especially like a profitable green streak. We had like a 7-day green streak, but it was all just like 1% green on the day based on our average position size, 3%. It wasn't like these nice 10% days back to back, which is not guaranteed or anything like that. But once you're in the groove a little bit, it's definitely possible. So it's kind of itching me a little bit, like, what am I doing wrong? And I think it's this whole like trying to catch up and get back to my rhythm that actually is kind of messing me up again. It's like I just need to take a step back, get a little bit more conviction behind my trades, let my trades maybe play out a little bit more. If I have, a max stop, like, getting closed out on this trade, it's unfortunate, but I had to stick to those rules. This trade, a little bit as well, but, these maybe aren't the perfect setups. Maybe I need to just wait a little bit longer for the perfect setups. It's tough to say, and it's really tough. What I could also do, which I probably won't do, is set up like a trailing stop. So here, I would have got stopped out if we went down 5%, let's say, from where my entry was, and that would have saved me. And then I would have had this nice upside. So this could have been a nice green trade. It's easier said than done, because with trading small caps, you sometimes, especially trading breakouts, you have to be a little quicker. I don't know. It's something I could look into, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. If you guys have any feedback on it, I know some of you guys have already and left some comments on some of my past videos, and I definitely appreciate the feedback. And you guys are oftentimes right. Like there's what was the last comment where all or nothing trading, where you basically take your max stop loss, or you take the max profit, or you just at that point you're just I don't know if all or nothing you have a stop, that a trailing stop that you move up, but basically if I'm looking to take my profits here at 1.51, or I want to get out if 1.39 breaks, it's one or the other. It's not like okay, this was a nice candle, but it's looking a little bit weak, I'm just going to get out. So maybe, and that's kind of how I traded in March, thinking about it. Like in March, I let some of my positions run a bit longer. I'm going to have to definitely watch some of my recap videos on March again. I've watched all of them. But, sometimes, a few months go by and you're like, it's sometimes interesting to see, what your thoughts were. And that's why I document all my trades, because I just as easily do this and can do this. I just go back to a few of my trades in the past, and then I'm like, oh, okay, that's that's what I was thinking back then, and clearly it was working. So let me go back to that. So I'm going to go to Trade Journal, review some of my past trades, and then yeah, hopefully kind of compile a little bit better of a system. But as soon as you guys start noticing that, you know, it's starting to pick up again for me, you'll probably notice what I've shifted. I'm obviously going to say what I've shifted, but I feel like you guys, especially in the stream, have the kind of this really nice bird's eye view of watching me and being like, I could see this pattern emerging of where you're not, you know, taking, I don't know, whatever the pattern is, where you're just either you know, you're just getting nervous, you're just, you know, it's all in your mind in terms of like building up these kind of worst case scenarios. As a day trader, especially a momentum breakout trader, you sometimes have to be a little bit blindly optimistic, and I have a hard time doing that. And that's why I'm actually a bit more of a dip trader, because I kind of personally feel like all these stocks are going to zero in the small cap world, which I think for like 95% of the cases is probably somewhat true, just looking at the long-term charts. The long-term chart on NNDM, for example, I mean, you kind of get where I'm getting from. So let's say you're just a blind investor here at $99 and you've just been holding this, you'd be down 97%. You can see it up here. And it's not exactly a great investment. That's why a lot of small cap traders are actually shorters, because at one point you pretty much will make money. Although, you know, it's tough to say as well, because if you're just blindly shorting in here and all of a sudden this thing goes up 40%, you might get a margin call, and you know, you could get destroyed very easily. And that's why a lot of these stocks jump so much, is because shorts get squeezed. So I mean, that's a whole different trading strategy on its own, but just kind of interesting to think about this a little bit. I mean, when you have a red day and you're trading a stock that is up, you know, 100% since the market opened and 200% on the day, you're just like scratching your head a little bit, and you're like, where did I go wrong? You know? Yeah, so that's just kind of, I'm just speaking out loud. I'm just kind of, you know, thinking here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I think I'm going to wrap up there. I definitely got a lot more to think about, and I'm going to go through a lot of my trades, my videos, my metrics on Trade Journal, and just kind of, you know, be a little bit more, you know, open-minded, see what I'm doing wrong. But I think in a nutshell, I just got to work on my conviction behind my trades, and I think I need to let them run a little bit longer, and just kind of get over the fact that April was such a slow, bad month, because I think I might have a little bit of like April PTSD that's also been kind of glued to my brain a little bit. So yeah, I hope some of that reflection you guys are able to use to your own benefit as well. If you guys do enjoy the content, if you enjoy the live streams, don't forget to leave a like, guys. I definitely appreciate that. Make this content easier to find for future traders by hitting that like button. And if you're totally new here, remember, we go live every morning at 9:15 to first review the watch list and then trade the market open every day. So if you'd like to see that, definitely consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon. You'll get a notification next time we get to go live. And it's good fun, guys. It's really good fun. The group is growing, and the community is quite amazing, I gotta say. So I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. We're gonna make this week good. Or we're definitely going to manage our risk, but let's see where we can take it. I'll see you guys then next time. Like always, stay safe, make some awesome trades. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.